Hello out there, it's the Lost World Tour update. Yes, it's a Friday night check-in from yours truly, Gavin Connor here of the Holy Hour podcast, and thought we'd just do a quick rundown of what happened this week on the Lost World Tour with The Cure out in Europe. We visited France, we visited Spain, we visited Switzerland. Wonderful shows. It seems like everything is just in full throttle, ass kicking mode right now and going wonderfully. So I figured give you a quick rundown. I won't go on too long because we got a full wonderful episode for you guys on Sunday coming up. Where I talked with author Christian Gerard of the FAQ book that came out last year, and we're going to talk about the 40th anniversary of the song Let's Go to Bed. So join us on Sunday for that. So I don't want to overload you with my voice too much, but there is necessary Cure business that needs to be covered and documented for this tour. So shall we begin? Before we begin, though, actually, there's a few things that did happen. Not only are we going to just totally ignore that bullshit that Paul Weller said because he's a dipshit and it doesn't really matter? But somewhere in all that, too, we saw a tweet from Roger, actually. Not only his comeback at Paul Weller, but otherwise he did say somewhere in there that somebody was asking about Paul Corkett, the producer, and he casually dropped that Paul Corkett produced Blood Flowers and is producing the new record. And he also mixes our front of the house sound and is a very good old friend. So confirmed as far as I'm concerned, and that's big news that nobody's like really sharing anywhere. It got all overlooked by snotty comments and shit. So Paul Corkett is back at the helm with Robert Smith producing the songs of the Lost World there. So if this album ever materializes, we got a producer credit. So that's pretty cool, and I'm 100% fine with that. Of course, my heart lies with David Allen, but we pretty much confirmed that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. So Paul Corkett, I have no problems with him helping out, and I think it'll be great since he did a wonderful job on Blood Flowers and made it sound great. I think everything was very cool production wise on that, and it's shaping up by what we've seen of these new songs that we've been saying it's a very Blood Flowers vibe. So why not bring in Paul Corkett? So very cool news and nice to 98% confirm that. I don't know what else he would have been referring to. So seems like that's got to be the case. So awesome and great that he's working on these live shows because it seems like they're sounding great too. On top of that, I want to shout out Max, and sorry I'm going to butcher your last name, probably Zarucci. Max Zarucci out there has been posting some full YouTube videos of the full shows. Pretty much, let's see, it went back into the last few from last week, but a good stretch of the shows have been covered. I posted them in our Facebook post for our tour updates, and I'll scrounge up whatever ones we have from this, but I feel like he was at France and in Barcelona even, I believe. I'm not sure how far it stretches out, but I'll put whatever ones I can up there. He's right up front, and it sounds pretty great and about as close as us far away fans are gonna get. So I watched a couple of those this week and really enjoyed it. So thank you so much, Max, out there. I highly recommend subscribing to his YouTube channel and checking out past awesome shows that he's uploaded and posted. So thank you, Max, if you're somehow hearing this. But shall we begin? Let's stretch back to where we last left off, which was, let's see, what was the last show before all this? I don't know. Milan, I guess, was the last one that we left off at. So let's pick up last Sunday, November 6th, Geneva, Switzerland. Whoop, 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 whoa. All right, looking at the set list, again, it's hard to say which are going to hang around for a little while and which one seems like the more rare tracks. But when you're just staring at the list, we had At Night and A Strange Day kind of in those interchangeable which night do you catch them on kind of thing. So if you were in Geneva, you lucked out and you got At Night and Strange Day. and most notably probably Primary, which hasn't been in a ton of set lists. So you got to hear Primary, which is pretty rad. And more surprisingly, from the big shock of the previous Friday, there was no A Fragile Thing. So the fifth new song was not included. And that broke a pattern, because once the new songs came in, they were sticking in there, and they've been in there for the rest of it. But this one disappeared. So we had technically no tour debuts, and we lost A Fragile Thing. So what's up with that? We wondered early in the week. Encore 1 gave us the I Can Never Say Goodbye new song, Want, Cold, Charlotte Sometimes, and a Forest lineup, all of which have appeared in other sets, but that's a pretty rad lineup for an encore, so everybody's got to feel pretty good about that. Simon once again dropped his bass and walked off pretty abruptly with a Forest, not even at the end of rocking out with a Forest, but it was right when he was supposed to start doing his part where he always rocks it out, he just dropped it and walked off. So a few people were concerned about that, but that was so long ago and early in the week now that obviously he's not that upset. He got over it, whatever it was. Encore 2 was the standard 7. So Switzerland didn't get anything as far as looking at it on paper mind-blowingly shocking or anything, but just again another solid set, and I'm sure everybody there had the time of their life. So great job in Switzerland, boys. Let's pack up and move on. November 7th, France. They enter France and they go to Lyon, France. And they most notably played Shake Dog Shake really early in the set, which is odd. Third song into the set. So they did Alone, Pictures of You, and then went into Shake Dog Shake. What? Okay, so no one's going to really argue that either. As far as the semi-rare interchangeable tunes that of note, 39 popped back into the set there, and we also got the Hanging Garden, and Want was into the main set, and Hungry Ghost came back around. So keeping those guys fresh and in the rotation still. A Forest again was played surprisingly early, which we've seen on a few of these, 12 out of 16 in the main set. So kind of always weird when Forest is just sandwiched in a normal part of the set and not some big finale. And again, no A Fragile Thing was left out. So what is up with this new song? Maybe I started to think at the time, maybe it goes back to that idea again where it's not part of this official new album, and this might be one of the other ones they're working on or something different. There might be something to it, or why it's not getting cemented in there like the others. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out in the next night. So then they go on to Encore 1 in Lyon, and they open with I Can Never Say Goodbye again, and this time they get Cold, Strange Day, 100 Years. So definitely a pretty solid, going back to our theme ideas of pornography themed encore other than the new song. But yeah, so that's a pretty solid lineup. Even though we've seen those before, we haven't seen 100 Years too many times. Lost count now. I think it's only around the fourth time, maybe. And then Encore 2, standard Magnificent 7 pop songs again. So again, no huge surprises, but that Encore 1 definitely gave a lot of people some chills in the good way, I'm sure. And I'm sure a lot of people were thrilled to hear Hanging Garden and 39, and maybe even Hungry Ghost. So the week progresses. Night 3 of this run. What day were we on then? This was Tuesday, so pretty early in the week still. We are still in France, and we got Montpellier, or as we say here in the U.S., Montpellier. So Montpellier, and they have the return of A Fragile Thing. So, okay, it's back. And lots of good recordings out there of it this time. Robert even introduced the song as saying,
"This is This is really a new song. We've only played it once before, and I think we did it kind of wrong, so this is the first time we're doing it. This is called A Fragile.
So maybe that was the holdup and why it disappeared. He wasn't happy with something they did when debuting it last Friday, or I guess 2 Fridays back now. So he brought it back and felt like they nailed it on this one, I think. So I didn't quite catch any huge difference in it, but it's a little hard to tell just from random phone and YouTube clips. But cool that it was back in action. And again, now feels like a solid number to add to the new songs, the 5th new song from the new album. So hopefully I think we can all take a deep breath and know and expect that on the new record. A great combo of what we've seen in previous sets, but we got Kyoto Song and Cold, At Night, Strange Day on the main set. Again, A Forest is oddly placed, 13 out of 16 this time. But cool, we can all live with that. Encore 1, we saw I Can Never Say Goodbye, again kicking it off, and this time the plain song Prayers for Rain, Disintegration. So the Disintegration kind of themed Encore 1, which we've seen before, but I'm sure that made tons of people there super happy, especially to hear Prayers for Rain. I listened to the clip of that, and it was glorious. His holding of Rain and Disintegration is sounding great still. So very cool. And then they got another surprise in Encore 2. Instead of sticking with the standard Magnificent 7 pop songs, they sneak Doing the Unstuck back in again, which we saw it earlier. I forget where, but cool that they brought it back in, which really does spice up that last encore a bit more, making it a solid 8 songs and throwing in another fun pop one that we, don't exactly know the order, so that's always good when you can shuffle a little bit there for everybody in Montpellier, France. So, so pretty cool show there. It looked like everybody had a great time wrapping up this couple of French shows as they go on to Spain, and November 10th, so they had the night off, and then Thursday then they arrive in Barcelona. And thank you to Allison out there for tipping me off that Cureverse was doing an awesome job streaming it on Instagram. So thank you to Cureverse, and also Allison for letting me know that Cureverse was doing it, because I was out and about and happened to catch it. So I was able to catch most of the set in real time, and then it got posted fairly soon afterwards, so I backtracked and watched the few that I missed. But yeah, they were sounding so lovely, and really even just between the bits of live streams and then later catching the full thing from Max's post, it makes such a huge difference in trying to sum up these shows from afar. Staring at the set list is fun and nice and dandy and all, because it's all we got from over here. But really, it doesn't tell you anything when you're just looking at these songs on paper. Like I've said a million times so far since starting this tour, I can't stress it enough that 95% of anybody bitching about the set list and the song orders or any of that going on still, it's got to be just people at home on their sofa or staring at their phone or whatever the hell, and saying, that's lame, no surprises. And, it doesn't matter how many times you've seen a forest or pictures of you. If you were actually at that show, you'd be feeling all the tingles and amazement. So it really even just seeps in a little bit that much more when you do see these live streams and watch the clips even. So I don't know, seems worth noting that, because it's so easy to just get into statistician mode and you're just staring at these things. So no denying the emotional wave that everybody must have been feeling while at this Barcelona show in particular, but all these really. So that being said, mostly the same old shit got played in Barcelona. Just kidding. But no tour debuts, though. But again, notables included. Let's see, what were some of the ones that got interchanged to the main set? We had At Night and A Strange Day, which is nice and solid. A Fragile Thing again for the second night in a row. So that makes everybody start to feel a little better that this isn't going to be some floating new song, that it's going to get cemented in like the others as they continue on. Finally, after the appearance way back at the first show in Riga, we had the return of Trust. Finally, this is like the lingering song that just had one play on the very first show. But they brought it back, and based on the clip I saw, it sounded amazing. So hopefully that one will be reoccurring a bit more through the last second half of the tour here. Let's see what else. Encore 1, they had I Can Never Say Goodbye kick it off again. And once again, they did the plain song Prayers for Rain Disintegration. Disintegration theme there, and they all still sounded fucking phenomenal. Encore 2 once again also looked the same as the last French show there, and then they did the Magnificent 8 including doing the Unstuck again, and with all the other pop gems. So that's cool. I missed it on the stream, but on setlist.fm, they did have a note saying that The Blood had been referenced before Lullaby coming out on that second encore. And just tonight, actually, before hitting record here, I backtracked and I was able to find somebody's camera phone footage of what happened. And it sounded like they all came out for Encore 2 and kind of low and slow mumbled the lyrics of "Tell me who doesn't know what can never come back. You can never forget how it used to be." And then they just went into Lullaby. So a bit of a nod. Might seem just like a one-off, but as we go into Madrid, tonight's show at the time of recording this, November 11th, Friday. I don't want to jump ahead to the encore, but he does that again. So pretty cool. Probably a nod to being in Spain. They don't quite make it to Portugal on this one, but if there's ever an official Spain or Spanish-inspired Cure song, I think it would have to be The Blood. So maybe instead of working up the whole song, he figured he would at least throw a few little lines out before Lullaby, so can't blame him, but pretty cool. And it seems a little specific to Spain, so we'll see if it happens again now that they have pretty much covered all the end of the Spain shows here on this tour. But let's backtrack to the beginning of Madrid for the 16-song main set. We had the one with Close Down and A Night Like This early in the set there in the 3 and 4 slot. We had At Night, and once again, A Fragile Thing was included, so hopefully that further confirms that it's cemented into every show, all 5 songs for the rest of the tour. Charlotte Sometimes and Want filled it in for some of the more interchangeable spots in the main set. And then we got to Encore 1, and they had I Can Never Say Goodbye, followed by Cold, and after a short absence, Faith reappeared. So I'm sure everybody in Madrid was over the moon to hear Faith reappear for the set, and a very cool encore, and followed Faith with A Forest. So very cool, very jealous. Encore 2, again, they stuck with the 8-song approach, including doing the Unstuck, so maybe this is going to be a more regular thing now too, so everyone should be happy with that. They at least get a bonus ultra pop song in that last encore. So yeah, it just looked like another fucking amazing show like all these have been, and really cool set list. They seem to be in good spirits still. I'm loving Reeves' shirt with stars on the sleeve. Looking cool. didn't really get to catch too many in-between bits, so if anybody out there was at these shows and wants to share any of the nitty-gritty of what happened in between songs or at the stadium or comments on the actual venues, that would be cool. Send them my way, please. We'll backtrack. Don't worry if it's something we talked about 2 weeks ago. We would love to hear your thoughts on them. So very cool. Seems like they did great. As we approach the next week's worth of shows, we're going back to France. So we got 2, 3, maybe 4 more France shows with a Frankfurt one coming up. I didn't write the days next to it, but let's see. Yeah, tomorrow. Oh no, they got off tomorrow on Saturday. So then the next show will be on my brother's birthday, November 13th, France, and then they go to Bordeaux from there on Monday, and Germany and a Switzerland show again, a couple more Germany shows as we continue on. So I'll keep trying to give these little quick posts. The only thing standing out on my mind as far as comments is they teased like cockatoos in that sound check, and we still haven't seen that one. So keep our radars peeled for that, maybe. And also, do you think they're going to play Let's Go to Bed on November 15th? Why would they play it on November 15th? Because that's the 40th anniversary of the day they released it as a single. Who knows? Maybe they're distracting. Don't care. But be interesting to see if they dig it up for that night. And on that topic further, like I said, we got a whole episode of me talking to author Christian Gerard, just in Cure in general, and specifically about Let's Go to Bed and its 40th anniversary. So check that out on Sunday when it drops. And the only other lingering questions would just be, are we going to get more new songs? Is this going to be something they keep adding to as it continues on through to London? Or is this the end? Is this 5 is what we're getting? And are we going to get many more tour debuts at this point? Seems like it would be weird to be casually dropping songs in through the whole thing, but maybe that's the plan. Let's hope so. And lots of fun to come still. A big chunk of shows still on the horizon. So that's all I got. And I hope everybody made it through the week. I hope everybody that was at those shows had the time of their life. And I can't wait to scramble up more YouTube clips or just hear random stories about it. So keep posting on your favorite social media outlets or wherever if you were at these shows. And I'll be there absorbing as much as I can from you guys. So keep safe out there on your travels there and back, and we'll see you on Sunday. So thanks so much for listening. Hope this helped fill in your Cure fix for the week and recap all the wonderful music they've been sharing. So okay, that's it for me, signing off. Talk hard.
Tell me who doesn't love what can never come back. I can tell by your tears you remember it all. As it cool in the twilight, taste the salt on your skin. I remember the tears of the broken